Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Benga Oreshegun. Now moving on the program. Naira's sustained rally hits forex speculators hard, trades at highest level in 2025 and nears 1,500 to a dollar at the black market. Atiku visits Obasanjo as politicians begin early preparations for 2027. And later on the show, Supreme Court reserves judgment in 4 appeals on Rivers political crisis. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade, Utitoju and Kayode Ladende. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. The police uniform is supposed to be a symbol of trust, authority and accountability. In a bid to restore integrity of the force, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has issued a directive banning police officers from carrying assault weapons, specifically rifles, while dressed in civilian attire. This directive is coming at a time when the Nigerian police is under intense public scrutiny over issues of misconduct and human rights abuses. Egbetokun warned that such conducts will not be tolerated and will attract severe consequences. All right, BQ, this order by the police IG, talk to me. What prompted this new directive by the police IG, and what does the IG intend to address with this?
I think it's really self-explanatory what the IG sought to achieve. We've seen policemen sometimes dressed in flip-flops, what we popularly call bedroom slippers.
Oh dear.
They wear Mufti and then cap it with bedroom slippers, shabbily dressed, looking like village thugs, and they carry arms in the process. So it's difficult for you to actually know whether they are real policemen or robbers. In the past, people had seen such shabbily dressed policemen at checkpoints and refused to stop, only to be fired at, especially the disbanded SARS.
Okay.
So they were very notorious for not wearing a police uniform. So the IG is saying all the tactical squads of the police must wear uniforms, approved uniforms at all times. You cannot wear Mufti and then bedroom slippers and expect that people will take you seriously. I think that what the IG is trying to do is clear, and this is not the first time they've been told not to wear, to be properly dressed at all times. But I think what is new is that the IG is saying if you are not going to be dressed in the approved police uniform, then you must not carry weapons, so that you do not confuse road users, you do not confuse motorists, that you are actually a policeman. So if we see somebody improperly dressed, wearing flip-flops, then we are allowed to believe that person is not a policeman. And then the statement also reinforced the fact that the SARS that was disbanded in 2020 remains disbanded, because the rumor mill had been agog that SARS was going to be brought back with a new set of rules to guide their actions. So the IG completely combusted that notion. Now we are relieved, because we do not want to see SARS come back.
Is this initiative, do you think this initiative is a way of the police trying to remove bad eggs, try to refurbish, reform itself?
Bigger, our worry more is, police is always coming out with policies, they're always coming out with directives almost every day, especially with this current IG and its PRO. We are always seeing lovely policies, good directives. Our worry is how much of obedience do these officers carry out all these directives? Like BKO mentioned, over the time, these are clear instructions that have been given in the past. And for us to still be battling with, are they police, are they robbers, it is too much for Nigerians to bear. So we should be clear that when we see police men and women, we should know that these are officers.
Distinct.
Exactly. So if you want to do investigation and you want to be clandestine about it, that's a different thing. And you don't have to carry weapons. But for you to stop on the road and you say, stop, stop, for God's sake, that's a robber. You understand what I'm saying? So I think what we should be talking more is to see that these things are well carried out by everyone.
Do you think
whether it's in the rural area,
policy will it be implemented across the country
it
seamlessly?
Must be. It must be. Otherwise, it will mean that the IG is not respected. It will mean that there is high level of indiscipline in police force, because these are the law enforcers. So we shouldn't see any form of deterrent. I mean, we shouldn't see any form of disobedience. We shouldn't see any form of flagrant disobedience of this kind of policy that has been taken. Otherwise, we will say that, hey, what is there? So Nigerians should also follow up with this story to say that, excuse me, I cannot stop for you. You are not on your uniform. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm more interested in policy implementation. I'm more interested in all these press releases, statements from the police being followed up by these officers. And police should do more by, making a scapegoat of people, of officers who disobey them, who do not carry out.
I think they've been doing some sort of name and
just
shame.
More of it, and we should also help the police by giving them information. Let's give them benefit of doubt that these officers will be dealt with.
Now the police is doing everything just to reassure Nigerians that, hey, they can be trusted again. But are there other things that you think the police can do and should do to reassure Nigerians that they can be trusted again?
Yes, I think over time, people have seen the police as one of the most corrupt entities in our country. There was a survey that was carried out some time ago that rated the police and NEPA staff as the most corrupt in our country. The then IG got so angry that he sent policemen to go and harass and beat up the people who conducted the survey. I think it was a Hindero. Yes, I think it was the IG at that time. I hope I'm right. If I'm not right, I apologize in advance. But if I'm right, I do not have an apology to offer. The police, the image of the police is not a good one. And there's a pressing need for them to burnish their image, to be in good standing with Nigerians. Part of what was contained in that statement was the IG's anger about the way cases get transferred recklessly, thereby prolonging the administration of justice. Once you do this, one of the parties to a matter will then begin to see you as trying to rig the investigations and ensure that justice goes to the highest bidder. They always say that in Nigeria, the first person to report the police station is always deemed the innocent person. And that is not necessarily the case.
Exactly.
If I know that you are likely to report me, and if I'm reported because I am the one who committed the offense, I will get punished. I will try and get to the police before you.
Exactly.
So people do that a lot. So the police has to revamp its processes, even the recruitment. There is a person need to look at the way they get recruited into the police. Bare-faced armed robbers are sometimes recruited into the police, and once you give them weapons, you have helped them to continue what they were doing before they got into the police. And that's why we say that at the local level, traditional rulers should be able to determine some of the people who get into the police, because they will know them from the cradle, you know, instead
of identify and vouch for them.
Yes, not just recruiting people at random. Exactly. And some of them are actually criminals that should never find their way close to a police formation.
Okay. So. All right, just maybe in 1 minute. This development is created to be a very, very good one. Okay, but do you think it might compromise the safety of officers on Mufti? Most especially who may have to respond to unanticipated threats. Just in 1 minute, do you think this might compromise their safety?
It will not. It will not. For the fact that if you're doing investigation, like I said, it's a different ball game. But we're talking about normal operations, stopping people on the road, and you're telling me to stop in your Mufti, in your sleepers. It's a no-no. This is even the image of the nation. Exactly. You understand? So it's a no-no. There's no justification for them to indulge in that kind of dressing.
All right, then. Let's move straight to our next conversation. Let's talk